Ooh, okay. Pitfalls of pursuing perfection. That's 3 P's right there. Oh, I ain't even try that. That just kind of came straight up off the dome. Hey squad, welcome back to my channel. Today is Mental Health Monday and I am Tika the Original. For those of you who are new to my channel, for those of you who are coming back, I'm so glad to see y'all. If you saw my last video, you know that it has been a minute since I've been back, or since I've been on my channel making videos. I am making a newfound commitment to being intentional and consistent with my videos. So let's get into it. Today I really just wanted to have like a candid conversation with you guys about the topic of perfectionism. Perfectionism. So I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, I often heard the phrase, practice makes perfect. I think that's what, yeah, practice makes perfect. And I even said it. I would say it, you know, practice makes perfect. I used to teach it to kids who I would be around before I had my own children. And I would say it to other friends to encourage them if they felt like they weren't doing their best in some area. Practice makes perfect. But the older I got, I started to think about that phrase and I was like, you know what? Nobody is perfect. Like, for real. Who's perfect? Nobody. Nobody is perfect. So what I started teaching my children as well when they were younger and even now is that practice makes progress. We're trying to make progress in life, right? There's just, I mean, perfectionism really is overrated. It's not gonna happen. I mean, you might be perfect for a few minutes doing a particular task, but eventually it's all gonna unravel and the wheel's gonna fall off. And then what? So really, it's all about making progress, right? That's what we want to do in life. We want to make progress in our goals, the things that we're trying to achieve in any endeavor that you have. So I really want to spend a few minutes with you guys talking about the kind of like the pitfalls of pursuing perfection. Ooh, okay, pitfalls of pursuing perfection. That's 3 P's right there. Oh, I ain't even try that. That just kind of came straight up off the dome. Anyway, okay. So I got a few notes here to keep me on track because y'all, I will go off on a tangent and it'll be a minute trying to get me back focused. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about in regards to the pitfalls is that perfection can often lead, or I should say the pursuit of perfection can often lead to anxiety. And really it can lead to a host of other mental disorders. Yes, it is in the DSM-5. Y'all know I'm in graduate school, so I constantly, as a matter of fact, I have my book right here. Let me see. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is my Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. And there are a host of disorders related to anxiety because perfection really, it produces a lot of anxiousness in individuals, and that can lead to obsessive compulsive disorder, to where you're constantly obsessing over the thing. It's a lot. So that's the first thing. Trying to be perfect can lead to anxiety. And yes, everybody, you're probably saying, okay, Tika, for real, everybody is anxious here and there. Everybody has anxiety every now and then. True. However, if your anxiety becomes so great to where it's impairing your daily functioning, And when I say impairing, meaning hindering you from doing whatever your daily tasks and whatever your daily job is, or even in a social arena, if it's keeping you from wanting to go hang around other people, keeping you in the house, significantly impairing you, hindering you in some sort of way, that's when anxiety becomes a problem. And that's when you need to take a step back and really rethink this whole perfectionism thing. All right, second thing, or second sign, I should say, that you should pay attention to is if you can't stop thinking about a mistake that you made. Ooh, so for example, oh my gosh. So here's a confession. Last semester I had a particular class and there was an assignment due. Now, I had all my assignments written down in my planner, everything, laid out. I have no idea how I forgot to turn in this one assignment. Now, it wasn't worth a whole lot of points. I mean, if we look at the grand scheme of things, I want to say it was worth a few percentage points of the grade, right? But let me tell y'all, I beat myself up so badly because I pride myself in turning in my work on time. I pride myself in doing my very best on every single assignment. So I was like, whoa, I forgot a whole assignment? Like, seriously? When does that happen? See, perfectionism was creeping in on me. And I really had to deal with myself on that. So I had to take a step back and be like, is this the end of the world? No. Okay. Are you going to fail because you forgot to turn in that one assignment? Well, no. Is it going to change your grade, your overall grade where you are right now, if you look at the body of work that you've turned in for the semester so far? Well, no, it's not. So once I step back and ask myself just some serious straight up facts, it helped me to put things in perspective. So I realized that I was really tripping just because I didn't have everything perfect. And I was starting to spin into, I guess you could say, almost like a downward spiral. Because like I said in the beginning, it was something that I could not stop thinking about. For at least 2 days, I was like, dang, I can't believe I did that. So just know that if that's something you do, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. It's not healthy for you. It's not going to help you at all. It's just going to cause you more grief in the end. Another sign that you might be a perfectionist is, I should say, you hate losing and you're very competitive. I know. We all hate losing. A lot of people, I mean, who like, yay, I lost. Who's out there saying, great, I lost? Nobody. But I think there's a difference between hating not losing, using that word hate, which is a very strong word. Somebody who's like a poor sport, they kind of take it to a whole different level. Really, like a whole different level. And that's when it produces anger or anxiety or just a host of, almost like a snowball effect. You go from this small situation that, of course, to you at the time doesn't seem small. But again, when you're able to step outside of yourself and look at things in kind of the grand scheme of things, it's really something that's small and probably insignificant. Don't beat me up behind this, y'all, but I'm just keeping it real. And you take that small thing and you dwell on it, and before you know it, it snowballs and snowballs and becomes something monstrous, and you've flown off the handle in anger, or you've become so anxious about it that it's just overtaken your thoughts, and you start to behave in some really not so pleasant ways. I'll say that. Okay. The fourth sign that you are a perfectionist is that you either got to do it perfectly or you're not doing it at all. It's almost like all or nothing. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be just this particular way. All of my T's have to be crossed a specific way. All of my I's have to be dotted a particular way. The papers have to be creased in a certain way. The cups have to be put away in a certain way. The towels have to be... Okay, I get it. I have my little quirks and my ways about me too. If you ask my husband, he'll probably say something like, yeah, because she got me folding towels a specific way. But okay, that's a preference. And I think there's a difference between preference and perfection. Again, if it's hindering you, if my way of folding towels was hindering me and causing me a significant amount of stress and anxiety and anger, I'm taking it to a whole nother level, right? So think about that. Do you have to have things so, just so, to where if it's not that way, then you're just not going to do it at all? There has to be some kind of middle ground. You got to have some flexibility there to know that everything's not going to always be perfect. Everything is just not going to always go your way. That's just the way it is. Okay, the fifth thing, or the fifth sign. I keep saying the fifth thing. The fifth sign that you might be a perfectionist or have some perfectionist tendencies is that you demand perfection from other people. So not only are you demanding that, or your high expectations of yourself are that you be perfect, but it bothers you so much when other people are not perfect. Maybe you, this is funny, because this is something that I catch myself doing sometimes, and I have to be like, okay, you tripping. Sometimes when I'm reading other people's work, not necessarily in school, but it might be just reading a paper or a magazine or something, and I'll spot a typo, and I'm like, oh, that's a whole typo. Like, how did you not see that? Now, I'm not getting on the phone and calling and making a complaint. I'm not sending an email to some particular magazine and saying, oh, I saw on page 25, such and such wrote this article about this and they had all these typos. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any of that. That's wild. I'm not doing that. However, I have noticed, I will confess, I have noticed when other people, have little faux pas and little mistakes like that. But guess who else has them? Me. Guess who else makes mistakes? Me. Guess who else has typos? This girl. So I had to really take a step back, and every time when I feel that little tendency coming on, I have to step back and be like, girl, you are tripping. It's okay. It really is. Are you going to let this ruin your whole day? No. So I encourage you guys to do the same thing, to know that it's all right if things are not perfect. The work that other people produce, if it's not perfect, it is what it is. If it's a good friend of yours, maybe you can talk to them in kindness and in love or whatnot. But if it's somebody you don't know, let it go. Let the editors take care of that. That's what their job is for, right? All right. Okay. So the sixth sign that you may be a perfectionist is that you don't want to ask for help. You don't want nobody helping you because you got this. You got it, and only you can do it a specific way. And then sometimes you may end up burning yourself out because you decided to take on this huge project and, oh no, I don't need no help. I got it. But in the end, because of your pride, you were too prideful to ask for help, or you were too stubborn because you don't feel like other people are going to do it to the same level that you're going to do it on. Who loses in the end? Especially when it doesn't come out just perfect the way you thought it would be. You, boo. That's you. You lose in the end. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to say, hey, this is a big task. I think it would be great if you could help me out. Delegate. I learned the power of delegation years ago, and I definitely can be a control freak if I let myself. I can take the reins and won't want anybody else to do things, but I've learned that many hands lightens the load. I'll say it again. Many hands lightens the load. Seriously, it does. Trust that, the direction and the guidance that you give for whatever task it is that you need help with, trust that it's going to get done. And it's going to get done, to the best of their ability. And just let it be. You can tweak things and make changes along the way, but don't let it stress you to the point of impairment, to where it's causing you physical sickness or even mental and emotional sickness as well. Okay, so the 7th sign that you may be a perfectionist is, I like this one. Okay, the 7th sign is that you continue to work on a particular task after other people have stopped. So maybe, let me think. I'm trying to think of a good example for this one. I don't know. I can't think of a good example, but hopefully this will resonate with you. So let's say you're putting together some sort of career fair, right? And there's a team of people who've been working hard on it, and you're the lead over it for whatever reason. And everybody else has done their task, and they've gone home for the day, and they're gone back to their families or doing whatever it is they do. But no, not you. Not you. You like, I'm going to stay because I need to make sure that this and this and this and that was done right. And I need to make sure it's all coming together. And I need to tweak this and I need to tweak that. And you just take it again. You see how all of these are kind of tying in together? Taking it to a whole nother level. Not wanting to leave after everybody else has done their task, done their part, but you won't stop. You want to keep harping on that thing, or you want to keep making little tiny tweaks, and there's really nothing to tweak. That's problematic. Yeah, that's problematic. Do what needs to be done and walk away. Just be willing to walk away from it. Do yourself a favor. It's for your sanity. It's for your own good. It's for your own peace of mind. And come back together with the team the next day. Make it happen. So don't stress too much over, tasks after everybody else is done. You be done too, okay? Be done with it. You deserve a break. You deserve time to walk away and get your thoughts back in line or in order. Okay, so the 8th sign that you may be a perfectionist is that this kind of ties in with one of the others that I mentioned, but you become a fault finder. So you start, you go out of your way, let me say that, to correct people when they're wrong. Like, you really go above and beyond. Kind of like the example I gave with noticing an error in a magazine and you picking up the phone and emailing and you just gotta let them know about them 2 little typos that you saw. That's pretty much the same thing. Is fault finding. You are going above and beyond to let people know that they were wrong and that you were right. So that's kind of the spin on this one. Is I think the last point that I made, or a few points ago, it didn't have that spin that not only did you make a mistake, but I was right. Like putting that on the back end of it, that kind of like that stamp of personal, see, if you would have did it my way in the first place, then we wouldn't be where we are right now. that's extra. That's a little bit extra that really is not needed. So that's something that you would definitely want to work on. Let's see. Okay, you guys, my camera cut off. Struggle bus. Anyway, okay, so the ninth, I was on the ninth sign that you may be a perfectionist, is that you consider people with clutter disorganized, or like cluttered homes, cluttered office spaces, cluttered desks. You consider them unorganized and you consider people who have clutter undisciplined and even lazy. Eesh. So I get it, because I consider myself to be, okay, something is in my eye. What is going on? So I consider myself, sometimes I do have a little unorganized, or yeah, like unorganized chaos. But I know where everything is. But it's neat. Like I'll have like little neat piles of stuff. And I don't necessarily like it all the time, but you know, it is what it is. I have one of my children is like that. I'm typically very organized with certain things, but then there's certain things that are like all out of control. Look at me sitting up here trying to make an excuse for my mess. That's hot. That's a hot mess right there. Anyway, one of my children, she is like that. She'll have stuff all over the place, but she knows where everything is. She can find everything, and I'm like, okay. I had to learn how to let her live and let her be great in her own special way, because as long as you can find it, and as long as I don't see no bugs up in here, it's all good, right? It's so hard, because as a parent, you want to teach them to do what you feel is the right way, and sometimes we can get caught up in that whole perfectionist lifestyle thing, and we end up creating little monster perfectionists along the way, and we don't want to do that. Or they end up being the total opposite, because we've pushed so hard that they decide, I'm gonna rebel and I'm gonna do it my way anyway. So yeah, sometimes you can get both sides of the coin. Lastly, the 10th sign that you may be a perfectionist is you are very self-conscious about making mistakes in front of other people. So you don't like to look wrong. You feel some type of way when you make a mistake and other people see you. Maybe you start to think, well, what are they saying about me? Do they think I'm incompetent? Do they feel like I'm not good enough? Whatever those things that you're telling yourself, that narrative that you're running in your mind, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. 9 times out of 10, if you make a mistake in front of other people, they're not necessarily tripping off of what it is that you did or didn't do, because most people make mistakes. It might even make them think, wow, you know, she's actually human, especially if you're one who's always looking perfect in other people's eyes. So it may let them into your world a little bit to say, hey, she's human just like us. She makes mistakes just like us. Or hey, he's not, you know, that far removed from where we are. So it's all right, you know. It's okay to make mistakes in front of people. Just kind of learn how to breathe through it and let it go. It will be okay. If you haven't already done so, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share my channel with everyone you know, like, and love. Until I see you on the screen in my next video, y'all know the deal. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm out.